On the show today,
Legends of Tomorrow!
Get ready for Fat Man on Batman.
Punchy, punchy, smashy, smashy.
Welcome, hello, and welcome to Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
Marc Bernardin.
Today's show, folks, if you're not into Legends of Tomorrow and the CW verse, the CW DC verse, it's a lot of letters.
The Berlanti-verse.
There you go. Although I'm sure CW takes exception to that. They're like, what about the CW verse? DC Universe on TV is on CW. We know this because, of course, it began with, well, I mean, look, give them props. They've been doing this shit since fucking Smallville, right? Wasn't that a WB show?
It totally was.
And a CW show.
It went on for 98 years.
It was forever, man. That shows that they even did Bizarro and shit. And then, like, they did Arrow.
Yep.
Berlanti kicks open the doors with Arrow, which took off and gave birth to one of my fucking favorite shows, The Flash.
Yeah.
The Flash and Arrow and Greg Berlanti and fucking Andrew Kreisberg and Jeff Johns, all these cats who work on your favorite Flarrow shows over at CW have come up with a new one, and you can't miss it. It's fucking being advertised everywhere. Everywhere. They're doing a great job marketing it. And not like, oh my God, I can't, I'm sick of seeing it already. They're doing a great job. It looks like a fucking feature. Like, they're marketing it like it's a movie, man. And that's a great fucking time to be alive. I know I say this every week. It's a great time. Look, it's always a great time to be alive, even except when you're being tortured to death. I would imagine that'd be a bad
Abu
time.
Ghraib is probably not a great place to be alive.
We didn't mean to bring it down. But
Right off at the top.
Yeah, right. People are like, now you got me thinking about prisoners of conscience
torture.
and shit. Pointing at genitals. Things could be a lot worse, kids. But it's a great time right now, man, because they're taking things that we love, giving it serious treatment, putting serious fucking money into this shit. Let's talk about this Legends of Tomorrow. DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes, they're not fucking around anymore.
The Brandon, bitch. Like, finally. They don't call it DC's Arrow or DC's Flash, but now they're calling it DC's Legends of Tomorrow, man. They're like, forget it. Everything's at Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. We got a brand just as big. Don't hide it, man. Don't fucking be ashamed of it. Like, don't be embarrassed. Be what you are. And now we're seeing what it is, man. The show's going to be fucking massive. We watched it, so we're going to talk about it this episode. Yeah. But before we dive into it, just a bit of news.
From your corner of the world.
It is. On this show, I don't like to toot my own horn. I like to cover other things and whatnot. But sometimes, Mark,
it's worth tooting.
Or these things cross over. Sometimes you can't help it. We talk about Flash a lot on this show, so much so that on the audio version, we had Andrew Kreisberg as a guest.
It was amazing.
Fantastic two-parter. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. We put up on this very channel me bawling at the season finale of Flash season 1.
As you do.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's the new Field of Dreams. Every man cries watching it. So they announced at the, TCA, the Television Critics Association, which is, tell them what that is, for those that don't know.
It is twice a year, every network, every TV producer gathers together and presents their wares to all of the journalists who write about TV for a living. So they do one in the winter and they do one in the summer. The winter showing off mid-season shows, summer shows off the fall shows. And it's basically they all just parade everything that they've got and drop whatever news they have, and it's a big sort
of... Shows, beautiful shows. Right. Like strolling them out like an old fucking beauty pageant.
Yeah, and so this is the time where they start announcing which pilots they're going to shoot, and they start making those announcements and which shows. And hey, look, Legends of Tomorrow. Here's the pilot. Here's the whatever. And here's the thing that we think you would like to know about, dear readers.
And so they bring the whole cast in, or the creators.
Or sometimes
like a junket.
Or they will bring the journalists to the set and, hey, you want to tour Catco? Sure. I will happily sit in Cat Grant's chair and take pictures of myself.
And they do that kind of thing?
They do that kind of thing.
Well, during the TCA, they announced something that I've known for quite a while. I've been sitting on and not saying anything. He knew it too, so he didn't say anything. So fucking good on you.
Yeah, I tried.
I'm going to direct a Flash episode. What?
Fucking bananas.
Look at that. That's an artist rendering of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Me wearing a Flash shirt, bawling. Run, Barry, run. This is awesome. I can't thank the folks over there enough, man. Like Andrew Kreisberg, obviously. The man who made it happen. Some people are like, how'd this fucking happen? Do you want to know how it happened? And this is how like fucking startlingly easy it is and shit. Sometimes you just need somebody thinking for you in a way that you don't think for yourself. I would never be like, dude, let me on that show, because that just sounds grabby and fucking, and also like why?
Weird.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because you love a thing doesn't mean that you got to be involved with the thing. You know, but because I work in entertainment, oftentimes there's a chance to love a thing and be involved with a thing as well. So, you know, I never want to be the guy that's like, give me. So I would never fucking think to ask. Even that, even fucking like, well, Andrew came over after I already got the gig, but even if he was there, I would never have been like, hey man, fucking, like it just, I think that's when shit gets weird. That would be like trying to, you know, kiss a girl who was a friend.
Yes.
Did that once in high school. Fucking awkward. Really awkward. Just, and she was just like, so.
The source of unrequited love, basically.
Oh, okay, with your tongue hanging out. Maybe that's why I didn't get kissed. I don't know. Maybe
The
it was
tongue
my
in the
approach.
paws.
Yeah, like, they're like, oh my God, he's having a stroke.
Yeah, blind man looking for fruit.
I believe that's a yoga move. A blind man looking for fruit. In any event, the hero of this story, Mark, is not Flash.
Really?
The hero of this story is Jason Mewes' wife, Jordan.
Huh.
Jordan runs our company, Smodco. And Jordan like saw me fucking crying up a storm and talking about Flash and fucking I talked about Flash over and over on a bunch of different podcasts. And she called up my agent and was like, he seems to like The Flash. Will you call them and see if they'll let him direct an episode of The Flash? And if I'd known had done that, I'd be like, no, because that's so against my fucking character and shit. I don't ask for things. I just go do my own thing. But she fucking asked girl Jordan, who runs our company, asked boy Jordan, who's my agent, to go ask Flash people. And he called up Andrew Kreisberg, and Andrew Kreisberg, this is how it happened. He goes, oh, yes. And that's it. Like, I could have done this shit years ago. You know what I'm saying? Never thought of it. But if it was ever to happen, happening on this, on Flash, is an amazing thing. Now, I've seen like a lot of support for it on the internet. Crazy amount of support.
Dude.
Normally, a lot of people are like, fuck you fat piece of shit, and everything you do. But even people who are like, fuck you normally are like, don't fuck this up, Mitchell. You know, like, fuck high. Don't fuck this up, Mitchell. But there seems to be a lot of like, oh, this might be a good blend. He likes this shit. Right. And he's been known to direct. And it's not a feature, so he's not going to get himself hurt too badly. Let's have him do that. But I'll tell you right now, that bar is high, bitch. Those Flash shows are better than most fucking movies I watch. Yeah. I saw someone online go, shit like this never works. When you bring somebody else's fucking sensibility into an already established sensibility, nothing good can come of it and shit. I'm here to tell you that person's not fucking wrong. I am not going into Flash going like, how many dick jokes can I stuff in this motherfucker? Like, I love Flash. Like, I don't want to go in and make mine. I want to go in and make theirs, man. I want to play in their sandbox and shit. I got my whole world to fucking do whatever I want. Have mooses eating people and fucking walruses that fuck little Nazi sausages, as all of my movies in one mashup movie. In a convenience store, at a mall. But I mean, I could do that in my world and shit. When I go to Flash World, dude, I'm playing in the court. Like, I don't, you know, this is like, I'm going to pull this analogy just because I watched this documentary recently. So we know Meadowlark Lemon died a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Meadowlark Lemon, gigantic name of my childhood.
Absolutely.
In a world where we had 3 channels, like Meadowlark Lemon was as famous as George Washington or George Jefferson for that matter. Like there were people that got on TV that were fucking famous, and there were only 3 channels. So that pool,
super famous,
like more famous than anyone will ever be from now until the end of time, even with social media and shit. Because those were in the days where like hundreds of millions of people watched television and shit like that, and only had 3 channels to watch. Harlem Globetrotters, man, had it all. Like fucking, oh my God, just like Tim Miller. They had the world by the balls. That kid who directed Deadpool was like 50. They had everything, man. And this isn't a Behind the Music where it's like, and then they lost it. They had it all, man. It's fucking, they had cartoons, movies. They were always on TV and fucking
Gilligan's Island. They got off Gilligan's Island.
The only motherfuckers get off Gilligan's Island were the Harlem Globetrotters. They had a game to play. Plus, they were just brilliant, like clown princes of the basketball court. But what most people don't realize is like they began their lives, like all of those people on the Harlem Globetrotters are expert ballers.
Yes.
More so, as good, if not better, than NBA ballers. And back in the day, in the early fledgling days of the National Basketball Association, they had a game with the Harlem Globetrotters. I think it was, the Lakers.
It might have, or it could have been even like the ABA before they merged.
No, it was a team that I recognized. I was like,
Was
oh
it?
my god, it's them. And they play. It wasn't like the Knicks. I want to say it was the Lakers. I don't know.
76ers maybe.
Maybe they play them and kick their fucking ass and shit like that. And those cats are known as like, fucking they spin basketballs and shit on their finger. But they came to play.
Yeah.
They played the game as it's supposed to be played. They weren't jumping up people's fucking necks and fucking dunking with 3 people and shit wearing a costume.
No balls up the shirt.
No.
Where'd it go?
They played it fucking completely straight. And they won the game and stuff. That's how I'm heading into this. I'm playing it straight. I'm not going in there and trying to bend the rules and do it my way and shit. Like, I want to do it their way. Otherwise I wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the guy that fucks up the show that I like. I already did that on Cinema Sins. I will never do that again, motherfucker. I will never be told by the audience, you ruined the thing that you love, and be like, I did, didn't I? Fucking never. So I'm going to go up to Flash and like fucking kick as much ass as possible. Because, I don't want to embarrass myself. But B, I'm a fan of the fucking show. Like, and I want to continue watching the show. And I want people to continue watching the show. I don't want there to be like this, that was the one bad episode and shit. So you watch, man. There ain't going to be no dick jokes in it and shit. I'm not going to say there's no references whatsoever and stuff. Because I ain't writing the script. That's the other thing. People are like, put in this, put in this. I ain't doing dick. Like, I'm honoring those fucking scripts they hand me, man. I never watch The Flash and go, I would have written that different, or I would have written that better. I watch The Flash and I fucking bawl, and when the credits roll, I'm like, why can't I ever be this fucking good? I'm not going to fucking put my shit in their script, man. I'm fucking taking their script and going to try to translate it. I'm going to try to elevate it, not execute it as best I can. But I look forward to it, man. Big thanks to all those cats who were like, come on up and play. It's really nice. Super fucking sweet, man. But all goes back to Jordan. Like, can you imagine? More useful. Jason Mewes' wife is more useful than Jason Mewes. Jason Mewes never once thought to call up Greg Berlanti and be like, hey, man, can you let Moves direct? And it would have benefited him because I could have put him in it. But no, now I'm putting Jordan in it.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So anyway, I get to direct a Flash, man.
That is so fucking great.
Right now it is. It's like if I fuck it up, then like 6 months from now, we'll be like, remember when I did The Flash? And it'll be a joke for a while. I ain't letting that happen, man. Not with this. I like this shit too much. So I believe I go up in March.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll be fucking filing reports from the set and stuff.
Nice.
I'll be like, look at this shit. I'm going to interview a bunch of motherfuckers. Oh, you ain't kidding. All right, so there's that. That's going on.
Which is awesome.
Very sweet. Now, back to Legends of Tomorrow, which we saw.
We totally did.
This show rocks, man. I wrote down a bunch of fucking notes, but why don't you start with your thoughts, because I'm always blabbing. Give him a single, for Christ's sakes.
I didn't write down any notes.
Go back to the 2 shot, for Christ's sakes. Well, kids, as you can see, Marc's prepared.
And we're done.
Just talk extemporaneously.
No, I mean, it's the thing I love about this show. And I'll tell you, there's a couple things I love about the show.
Okay.
But you could tell from the very beginning, and when we talked to Andrew Kreisberg, he said his favorite show in the whole world is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And this is very much like, I got myself a companion from Doctor Who to be my Doctor Who leads a bunch of guys through time. So it's like Doctor Who meets Quantum Leap.
It's like Dr. DC Who.
Dr. DC Who.
There he is. Rip Hunter, motherfucker.
Played by Arthur Darvill, who's amazing.
He's an old school DC character. Yeah. I remember him from first place I encountered him. He goes back to the Silver Age or some such shit, maybe even Golden Age. But Jeff Loeb, who runs Marvel TV and stuff, he was one of the first like non-comic book people to go work in comics that I ever saw. He did a couple issues, of course. Well, he did many things eventually, but his first thing was a Challengers of the Unknown miniseries with Tim Sale, and Rip Hunter was in that. That was my first introduction to him. Love this character. Love the idea that they're like, let's fucking use him, man. Yeah. And he's a superhero, doesn't dress like a superhero, so costume-wise,
he's got an awesome laser 6-shooter. And a badass fucking time ship.
Oh my God! It's a group show.
Yeah, it's a team show, really.
Is Doctor Who a team show? Would you consider it that? I mean, it's not him. Really. It's his companion.
It's usually like it's a 2-hander for the most time. It's the Doctor and whoever's companion is. It happened to be on the year that Arthur Darvill was on. Amelia Pond, played by Karen Gillan. I was close there.
Getting geeky.
Who was Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she shaved her head and everything.
The fuck, man? Look at the deep cuts we're getting from Marc.
Deep cuts! But yeah, so she was the companion and he was her fiance who eventually got married. So it became a 3-hander. And it became really sweet.
And she went on to Marvel, and he went on to DC.
Yes. I wonder if they talk at conventions now.
Tearing them apart. No, they're not allowed to. DC and Marvel people aren't allowed to
Like
fucking
the Sharks and the
associate.
Jets, do they have dance fights?
They do.
You're Marvel. You're Marvel.
You know
till
who
your
dances
last
the
dying
best?
day. Who?
Grant Gustin, because he was on fucking Glee.
That's
Before he was
right.
the Flash, he was fucking belting it out.
He's a hoofer and a singer.
A hoofer. He is literally a hoofer, man, on that show. He's like, "Pshum." I get to direct that kid.
That's so great.
And direct. I ain't going to tell him what to do. I'm just going to be like, fucking do that thing where you make me cry.
Run, Barry.
There's a lot of fucking...
run.
Yeah.
Why is Kevin's only direction run, Barry, run?
They're like, Kevin can't direct. He's too busy bawling. I'm just like, oh, God, it's so beautiful. You're just a super lady. He's like, I'm a fucking dude.
Run, Barry, run. My name is Cisco on the show.
Yeah,
Run, Barry, run. Caitlin.
Why can't you run like Barry? Run!
I'm not the fast one.
It's all going to go south, isn't it? This isn't going to work. You can't fucking have a fan direct this shit. Like, I literally won't be able to do anything. The whole time I'll be like,
do that thing I love.
they're like, should we roll? I'm like, shh, they're there. It's the Flash people.
Like, no, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to touch it. I'm gonna go back over here. Is that cool?
I'm going to get geeky.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. I won't be able to control myself or my bladder. Let's talk about this show, though.
Yes.
Legends of
Tell me
Tomorrow.
what you love.
Here's what I love about this show. Give me a single. Give me a single. There you go. Here's
it
what I
to
love about the show, Mark.
Ooh.
This is the Justice League movie before the Justice League movie. This is Avengers on TV. This is Guardians of the Galaxy to some degree on TV. This looks like a feature. It's big ideas. You know what it also looks like? This is a bouillabaisse of everything you've liked about comic book movies for the last 10 years. There's a little bit of fucking X-Men Days of Future Past mixed in because they're going to time periods and fucking wearing the clothes and shit like that. A little bit of grooviness. There's a bit of Doctor Who. There's a bit of Justice League, which hasn't come out yet, but there's a bit of Avengers, a bit of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think it's great. And, of course, a lot of fucking big heaping dose of fucking Flash and some Arrow, I guess. But, my God, this fucking stew is tasty, bitch. Like, that's what I'm saying is you're not going to tune in and be like, I'm as baffled as I was when I watched Rubicon on AMC all those years ago. Not at all. It's very easy to follow. Just the way that Flash is a comic book come to life, Legends of Tomorrow is like a comic book movie come to life, which is weird to say, on the small screen. Seriously, in a fair world, this shit would be in the movies. But it benefits all us that it's not a fair world because we get to watch it weekly on television. You know,
For nothing.
Free for nothing, bitch. As opposed to like shelling out fucking $10-15 with a year or 2 years between each episode. You can sit here and watch this every week, and they killed it on this show, man. I don't know who directed. He told us the guy, the pilot whisperer, directed it. I think.
Fuck, I can't
He
remember.
directed their Flash pilot as well.
Yeah.
Fucking did a killer job, man. But here's what I love about the show. You've seen the commercial spot, you know, where they're all up on the rooftop, and Rip Hunter's like, you know, oh no, in the future, because basically Rip Hunter comes from the future and collects a team of heroes to stop Vandal Savage from destroying the world.
Who fucks everything up in the year 2222 or whatever the hell it is.
So they're like, we got to go back in time, and they're going to stop him from doing that shit. So in that trailer, the sizzle reel they shot for the show, you know, Rip Hunter's talking to everyone on the roof, and you know, they're going, so wait, we're in the future, we're heroes? And he goes, no, you're not just heroes, you're legends. So you realize you take these ragtaggers, and you're like, oh my God, they're the fucking Justice League. And I was sitting there going, how smart. They don't have Batman and Superman, but they're like, we don't need those fuckers. And they built a goddamn fucking Justice League out of it. And on the surface, the premise is that. It's simple, beautiful. We can collect these heroes, go back in time, and fucking stop this bad man. You're like, right on, I fucking like this. But then, about midway through the show, they fucking hit you with the feels of what the real story is. And it's not like an M. Night Shyamalan fucking twist. It's just you didn't know the whole story, and the whole story is even more moving. There's a scene with, you know, to me, who I fucking love in the show is Brandon Routh.
Oh, so good.
Fucking so good, man. Like I worked with him as Zach Mirror McPorn. He's fucking brilliant. He's a wonderful kid. But he's so good as fucking Ray Palmer because he's so like anxious, happy to be involved, knows that he's fucking smart, and they use him so well in this because he's this emotional touchstone. Yeah, he's got the great suit and he shrinks, so he does the cool shit. But he doesn't do that very often in it, you know.
Right,
most
because
of
it's
the time,
expensive.
That shit is expensive. So most of the time, he's left to his own acting chops and stuff. And they give him some great shit to work with. First, when Rip Hunter gives them the pitch. This is the pitch. You got a day to think about it. He's talking about it, and he's thinking about it, and who he's talking about it with. Well, I forget who it is. I don't know if it's Martin Stein or whatnot. But he's like, I died once. And you know what happened? Nobody cared. Nobody noticed. Life went on. Like, this man is telling me that in the future, my life makes a difference. So he's like, I think I have to do this. Really touching reason.
Yeah, totally.
Because, you know, I guess it was an arrow. He shrank, and they thought he died, but he just fucking went small. So, you know, you're like, that's cool, man. Like, and that hit me. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I immediately, that's when I started crying. I wish I had a camera on me. Because all the best tears are on camera. But right when he said that, I was like, that's the fucking feels. That's how they got me. Go to Marc.
Yeah. No, they totally got him. I mean, I love the pace of that, especially the first episode. It is fucking breathless. It's like Ocean's 11, where we're building a gang of superheroes and a couple of villains, and I love the villains.
Yeah.
You know, those two
Good
guys
move
are great.
including them.
Yeah, because it builds conflict into the team. Because all of these shows are about, you know, it's heroes fighting a thing. And TV is about drama, and drama is about conflict. And it's really smart by building that conflict in. So if they never go anywhere, if they never run into a bad guy externally, there's conflict on the fucking ship.
Can you go to a two-shot? This is why you bring a Marc Bernardin anywhere, man. He fucking sees into shit and he understands what makes it work. He's like a fucking clockmaker. You know what I'm saying? He knows how it all puts together and shit like that. I never would have thought of that. You're absolutely right. Even the conflict thing about TV, fucking. Yeah.
Because, like, at some point, they're going to run out of money. Because every
Once again, wisdom from Marc Bernardin.
They used to call them bottle shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's all on standing sets. We're never leaving. Star Trek was awesome at this because, you know, hey, so there's another ship on the screen, which we're only going to show once. We're never beaming down to a planet. We're never fighting any other aliens. It's all here because this doesn't cost us anything.
Was it called bottle shows?
Bottle
Genie
shows.
was in a bottle? That was the ultimate bottle show.
I don't entirely know where
Wasn't.
the etymology comes from. But yeah, so like you can absolutely just do a show on the Time Master ship, whatever the name of it is. Like Excelsior. It's not called that.
Oh, it's got the Wave Rider.
The Wave Rider.
Yes, the Wave Rider.
You know, like they can do an episode where they never leave that ship. And there will absolutely be reasons for
The Hateful Eight on the Wave Rider. The Hateful Wave.
Yeah, there it is. How many people get? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I like that. I do like how the ship is set up for proscenium style, so we can see our whole cast. Nobody's blocked. Like that is
Everybody wins.
No fucking ship needs to be set up like this, but
Nope.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it when they walked in. They're like, "Everyone, get a seat." I'm like, "How perfect!"
Yeah, you knew there would be 9 of us. Okay, great.
Oh, I love fiction.
But it's really smart that way. It's really, really smart that way.
Super smart. I'll tell you the other thing it's got going for it, man. The real fucking plug of the show. Spoilers.
Big spoilers.
Yeah, this is all fucking spoilers. So we talked about Ray decides to go because he's like, I could make a difference. I don't want to be forgotten and stuff. Midway through the fucking first one or second one, what did they
the
reveal?
first one, yeah.
First one. They don't fucking, yeah, I was happy. Like right away, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like you could have hid this till episode 5.
For sure.
Right, and they don't bury the lead. It's right in the pilot. Rip Hunter reveal spoilers. Go to
Huge.
two-shot.
Huge.
Fucking
massive
spoilers.
Spoilers. The size
Don't
of
watch
elephant
this
balls.
until you watch
Don't.
that.
Throttle back.
And by
pause.
that we mean Legends of Tomorrow. Just so we're all
Yeah.
fucking clear. Go back to the single. All right.
That-
What was
no,
I
the other
talking
guy.
about? Yeah, fucking.
Don't need
No, me, do me. So Rip Hunter reveals that he is wanted by it's the Time Council, like his
yeah.
version of the Time Lords or whatever, the Time Masters. Wanted because he jumped into the time stream to go kill Vandal Savage without blessings from his masters and stuff. So they send Kronos, a time bounty hunter, to fucking go kill him. Kronos is a Ray Palmer / Adam villain. So right away, you're like, oh, I fucking love this. I love how fucking geeky this is. So Rip Hunter was not sent from the future. Rip Hunter took a ship and came from the future.
Yes.
So at a certain point,
He's freelancing.
He's freelancing. They have the big conversation about like, well, if that's not what really happened, if you weren't sent to get us, what happens to us in the future? And that's where the show owned me. Right here, man. Like I was digging it. I was like, I'm in. But like I expected high adventure. I did not expect the fucking heart moment, man. And again, you don't want it spoiled for you if you haven't seen it. So don't watch it if you haven't seen it. But Rip Hunter tells them, he's like, you got none of you matter to the time stream. Like I chose you because all of your deaths have no effect on the time stream whatsoever. Nobody gives a fuck about them. I'm like, I'm getting fucking sad about it right now. I'm like, that is so fucking heartbreaking. They're all heroes. They all put themselves and their lives in danger for others and shit. And this man comes to the future. He's like Batman? Yeah. Superman? Wonder Woman? Adam? Not so much.
You 9 fuckers? Nobody gives a shit.
So sad, dude. I don't know. I don't feel like a winner most days. So I feel like that guy. Yeah. So I watched that and I was like,
like they're all the kids who go to like Disneyland looking for their names and the license plates, and there are no names in the license plates for any of them.
You like my kid Harley. That's about to change though. Holy fuck. It is that hook alone. I was like, oh yeah, they're not the best. And it's so weird. It was like I remember it was feeling like when I saw the billboards for The Dark Knight, and there's a shot of Batman on the pod, and I'm like, you can get my motorcycle now? What the fuck? This is stupid. Then you see the movie, and as soon as it's like self-destruct, goodbye, and the Batmobile blows up to become the Batpod, I was like, that's fucking brilliant. How couldn't I have not seen that? And then I'd look at the billboard and be like, it's right there, the big fat tire. How did I not fucking see it? Same thing here. How did I not fucking see that they're not the heroes? They're the fucking like, you're the drags, bitch. We're going to try to make it work with the drags. Like, that's a TV show.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all about redemption.
Yeah.
The show's about redemption.
If they were all good at their jobs and they were the best, it'd be the fucking Super Friends or the Justice League. But it's this. It's about, like, you got another shot to make your life count for something. So, that's how you fucking grabbed me, dude. I was like, I wasn't crying as hard as when Barry's mom cried. I had a whole season for that. But I bawled pretty hard considering it was a fucking pilot. I was like, that's a really beautiful fucking kickoff notion.
Yeah.
I wrote some shit down.
What else you got?
I'll write some notes down. Here we go. Go to a 2-shot. These are the things I fucking loved about Legends of Tomorrow. Shit I wrote down as it went along. The return of Gideon, dude. Gideon is the onboard fucking computer on the Wave Rider. And one of my favorite moments of fucking Flash season 1 was when they were in the room with Gideon. It was Flash and Caitlin and Cisco, and they're getting information. They've never encountered it before, and fucking Harrison Wells is coming back, and it's a race against time. Yes. Oh, it's so fucking, it's a real tense scene and shit. And then like, we gotta go, Barry. And they're like, we got a fucking polar circuit so she can't fucking tell Wells. And he's like, is there any way, Gideon, is there any way that you could just not tell Harrison Wells we were here? And she's like, I will, I am programmed to do whatever you say, Barry Allen. I'm about to fucking cry. I love this so fucking much. You have no idea. And he's like, why? And the computer says, because you built me. And the fucking look on Grant Gust's face, man, where he's just like, it's fucking beautiful. It's a mind-bending little moment. And I sat there fucking crying. I was like, oh, God, this is so perfect. Kill me now, Jesus, because life will never get better than this moment.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Oh, totally. It was that. It was like, don't. Just back away. Oh. So, that being said, with Gideon, I did get emotional again. With Gideon being on the onboard ship, I was like, oh, it's all happening. This is what I love Andrew Kreisberg. I know he did that. I know he was like sitting in a writer's room, was going like, oh, let's use Gideon as the voice. Someone will like that. And fucking, I am that somebody. I went crazy for it. Ray Palmer says to Martin Stein, do you remember my paper? And Martin Stein goes, I don't remember you, Mr. Palmer.
I know.
Really nice beat.
Keeps calling him Mr. Palmer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even call him Dr. Palmer.
Dr. Palmer.
Like, but I'm a doctor. I did the fucking
beat.
work. I'm a doctor.
But that also lends to, there's Martin Stein himself. The fucking, as Mark said right before the show, you're like, they show the posters of all the young heroes, and then it's like, there's your dad.
The guy who buys the Legends of Tomorrow beer.
And the rest. But you need him. That's the great. What's his fucking name?
Oh, Victor Garber.
Oh, I fucking love Victor Garber.
I saw him on Titanic the other day. Titanic was on
That's
cable.
right. That's
and
right.
he's the guy who built the Titanic.
This is the guy who played Anthony the sailor in the original production of Sweeney Todd.
Wow.
Yes, and he plays God in Godspell or Jesus, whatever you call that clown character. In the movie, not in religion. I understand the clown character. Religion is called Jesus, but I'm talking about it in the movie Godspell.
And God in real life is Morgan Freeman. So
Yes.
it's not Victor Garber.
No,
Clearly.
no, we all know that.
Come on.
Well, to some of us, God is Alanis Morissette. There was just a little pocket in the 90s. I won't take it away from Morgan Freeman.
She had a minute.
We all had a minute, Marc. I love that, though. I think that's a cool notion that he feels like it feeds into the whole, like, this is why Ray goes on the trip, because he's like, fucking doctor who taught me doesn't even remember my work. Like, he feels very unimportant, very small. That's good writing, kids.
There it is.
That's Marc Bernardin level good writing right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's a bunch of people sitting around in a writer's room going like, you know, what are his character traits? They have to. Either that or just happened luckily. But
Because it's all like, you know, how do all of these characters at some point match up with each other?
And they spin a lot of plates on this show. I fucking salute anybody that's like, we got many stories to tell. When I did Dogma, that's a lot of stories to juggle and shit when you have that many characters and whatnot. It's great when it's a two-hander, three-hander, but this is 8, 9 people. They got to write for every fucking episode. They did a great job, at least in these 2 that we've seen so far. Okay. I died once. You know what happened? Nothing. I said that. White Canary, Stephanie from Mad Men. I said that. Brandon is Ray Palmer. I says perfect casting of character. Can I get some water, Matt? I'm fucking choking, dude. Kendra
I will
as
give
mom.
you water from my cup.
Thank you. Kendra as okay. This is fucking deep cut spoilers. So again, watch the show.
For reals.
I think the first moment that really made me cry hard was Kendra finds out she's this old man's spoilers mother. Fucking crazy.
Because they're hunting for like this professor at some college who's been tracking Vandal Savage for his entire life. And so he's got apparently the information. Like, where can we find him? What does he do? Where does he live? What are his patterns? And they're like, well, we got to go talk to this guy who's been obsessed with Vandal Savage for years. And they go to talk to him, and he's her fucking kid.
It's fucking big. He goes, and you know, he's drawn to her, and finally, you know, they set it up for a few minutes, and then he has a moment to say, "It was a year as beautiful as I remember." And you're like, what is it?
Yeah.
And
did you meet me before?
And there's a photo of like a man, a woman, and a kid. And you're like, oh my God, is he the man? Thank you. Oh, you're amazing. Matt, everybody.
Matt's head.
That's a producer. Brings you water when you need it. So you know, you're like, oh, maybe it's the guy. He's a reincarnated version guy. But he's the baby in her arms. Yeah. What a fucking cool. I've never seen that before in something. Great. You know what I'm saying? Like the notion of like, here's a kid you didn't know you had who's a fucking full grown adult, older than you, and you're going to spend this little truncated time with him and then, you know.
Yeah, like he spent his entire life obsessing over this, hoping that at some point he would meet his parents again. Knowing that they would reincarnate because he's done all the fucking homework, so he knows.
Good piece of writing.
So great.
Really emotional. I dug that a lot. One of them said Mom used to listen to Captain and Tennille a lot. I think it was either Heat Wave or fucking Captain Cold. Good fucking line. Because they played, I think, Love Will Keep Us Together or whatever.
Yeah, they went to the disco, the bar scene in 1970, whatever.
Kronos, I said. Kronos and the Hawk fight was badass. All the Hawk fight stuff. All Hawkman, Hawkwoman taking flight, wings busting, fighting shit.
It's fucking badass.
Really fucking. And again, like that to me is the unsung hero of all this shit because you're like, I can't believe we live in a world where they're showing fucking hawks, where the hawks are fighting. And that's the same fucking storyline that I remember from the comics where she's like, I don't fucking remember any of this. He's like, Kendra, you must remember, we're reincarnated souls. There have been so many different versions of these fucking Hawkman and Hawkwoman characters.
When I was a kid, the Hawk I got was on Buck Rogers, who really just literally had a fucking hawk hat. What's his name? Hawk. He flew a hawk ship.
And he was like their Spock. He was emotionless, like a bird for some reason.
Yeah, because he's a bird person. None of them are those.
Yeah, that's not from that show. All right, so what else we got, man? The professor kid, Kendra's dad, when he was just like, is that a laser gun? That was so cute. I thought that was really, really cool.
They're having fun with the time stuff, too.
They are having a blast. We go out for 5 minutes. You pick a fight with Boba Fett. The guy who plays Captain Cold is amazing. What's his name?
Wentworth Miller. Dominic Purcell's his brother, Heatwave.
He's fucking the way he plays Captain Cold, dude. Is fucking. It's great. Like he found a thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate when an actor's like, all right, I got a thing for it.
Yeah.
And he delivers everything in this very particular way.
Right.
Like just above it all.
So
man. Very
Mr.
Spaderish.
Hunter.
Not he don't cop James Spader, but he reminds me of like Spader's presence.
It's
in the
this
movie.
like laconic intent. Like
Yes.
it's very much like he's leaning back into it, but it's very precise.
It pains me so much to do this. You know,
Right.
like everything hurts so badly. Let me see, what else did I write down? Kronos versus the Legends. There's a big moment where Kronos fucking fights all the Legends tomorrow. There's a laser fight and the Wave Rider takes off. As good as you would see in any fucking feature film. Dude.
Yeah. And like fun. Like they hit him with the car.
Yes.
Like that's great.
Good fucking shit. Spoilers. All of this is spoilers. Let me see. I said I respect for all the moving parts. So many characters. We talked about that. Kendra and Sarah punch and rip Hunter. I thought that was kind of fun. The Legends reveal, I said. There's the Suicide Squad. That's really what they're doing here. Like, it's the Justice League plus the Suicide Squad. They're having their cake and eat it. Like, these fuckers over at CW and Berlanti Land, they cracked the code, dude.
Yeah.
They're having the time of their lives,
It's
making
the Dirty
dreams come
Dozen.
true.
It's great.
Oh, my God. It's so fucking smart. Let's see. A collection of nobodies who time doesn't really give a damn about. That's what somebody says. And that fucking broke my heart. The spoilers again. The death of Rip Hunter's family, which is paid off, is the opening scene. You see the future with Vandal Savage, and he kills some fucking random woman and some kid. Ain't so random.
Nope.
Just like good writing in TV turns out to be something. I never would have thought of that. And when it happened, oh my God, nothing's wasted. You're absolutely right. So that is really well done. The Professor's necklace. I don't know what that is. I forget what that is a reference to. I called it a total soap opera or soups opera.
Woo!
Coining that phrase.
Soups opera.
Soups opera.
Along with Toilers in the
Yes. Me and Marc creating language.
Batman and Batman word bank.
These are the keywords by which you can search our show.
Soups opera.
Martin Stein, when he decides to go, I thought his reason was, and as a middle-aged man, it fucking struck home with me. I'm sure no kid watching the show is going to be like, yay, Martin Stein. But I was.
Nice
but
blazer.
His rationale was, at my age, you don't know how many adventures you have left.
Yeah.
It's really fucking quite sweet. Like, and again, like, yeah, he's the one of these things is not like the other in the cast, Vincent Garber, because he's a classic fucking Broadway actor. But man, this show benefits from having him every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
When you see somebody that good at their job playing something this goofy, that seriously, you take your fucking hat off, man. They're making dreams come true. Some kids are going to see this for the first time. This is their first Adam or fucking Rip Hunter. Like, most kids are like, Rip Hunter.
Ooh, what?
But now Rip Hunter's a viable fucking character for a bunch of kids because, like, oh, he's the time traveling man.
Yeah. I mean, it's really smart. And it does definitely take a page from like the Battlestar Galactica thing, which this is a silly idea that if we get the best fucking actors we can find, will absolutely help us sell it. You know, you give me, Mary McDonnell and you give me Edward James Olmos, and robot toasters who look just like regular people is fine. I'll give you everything else. I'll give you planets named after, astrological signs. I will give you all of this shit if those guys sell it. And Victor Garber's one of those guys. Like,
he's selling it. He gets a lot of screen time in part 2. He gets like a really funny bit where he meets, spoilers, they go back in time to the 70s, so he meets his college-age self, and there's a chance that he doesn't meet his wife. Like, once
So
they
it's a
go
Back
back
to the
in
Future
time,
thing.
there's pictured right there, man. 1970s. They spent a little coin.
They
You
did.
got to put those outfits together and stuff and rebuild the 70s too. And granted, you can keep it focused to your frame, but
very much.
they get a big walk-in shot. I thought I was impressed by that kind of shit. But he gets to act his ass off in this, and that's really fun. There's a lot of weed smoking, and I appreciated that a great deal. I love when things I love come together.
I'm happy to do a flash, but what I really want to do is the pot smoking episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, next time you're doing that, give me a ring a ding.
It'll be both Cheech and Chong for you.
It's crazy. They do like a bunch of pot jokes because they're in the 70s. At one point, fucking Martin Stein is like, let's spark a doobie and talk about physics. Fucking good shit, man. Canary takes joints from the 70s when they leave onto the Wave Rider. So setups for later, dude.
Yep.
Do a whole episode where they just get baked on the Wave Rider. That's my episode. Please, Andrew, let me do the one where they're all in one room getting high.
Yeah, that's the bottle episode.
The Breakfast Club episode. essentially. What else? Martin re-meets his wife. Very fucking sweet when they do that piece, because at one point Martin fucks up his chances of meeting his wife, and then of course things get righted. But there is
something not quite irrevocable, because
because we deal in time here. But
we're dealing in time, and we're dealing with people for whom time is never permanent.
Yeah. But there's some casualties.
Yeah, and I was okay with that one.
Were you? I like it. We don't want to spoil it, but oh my god! Well, we spoil everything. Yeah, really? That you're.
I just didn't like that. We talked about it. I didn't like that actor so much. So
he ain't gone.
I know.
There's no way.
It's a nice respite, though.
Could you imagine? Marc, I can't stand him. I like the dude. I can't believe though. Pilot episode. They're like, Hawkman's gone.
Sorry. Whoops.
And whether he ain't gonna stay gone. They're like, you kidding? We put a lot of money into that poster. Surely he'll be back. But even if they take him out for a few episodes, it's kind of fucking badass.
It's pretty sweet.
Way to start your show where you're like, one of the stars is gone.
In Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Of all things.
The movie or the TV show?
The TV show.
Okay.
In the very first...
I only acknowledge the movie. No,
I'm that guy, Captain Contrarian.
Fran Kazooie.
But in the pilot episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's a character in the opening credits who gets killed in the first show. And the trick is, like, look, he's part of the show, clearly. He's in the opening credits. He's going to be in it for like 6 years. And they kill him in the first episode.
Right away.
It's just nothing is safe here.
And did they then take him out of the front credits?
Yeah. Put him in there once.
The dude was just like, thanks.
Hey, I told my mom I was on the show forever. I'm in the opening credits. We did a shoot.
I said I was even in the credits, and they never get rid of people in the credits.
No. It's
Welcome to Buffy, bitch.
They didn't kill Phoebe. Nobody likes Phoebe.
Who's Phoebe?
Friends.
Oh. People didn't like Phoebe?
I don't know.
Marc's making shit up.
These kids have never seen Friends.
I didn't. I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and I was like, this ain't for me.
No.
This apartment is way too big. I lived in New York. Don't look like this.
Nuh-uh.
And we're the Roaches.
Yeah. And you don't have any black friends?
In
New York?
That's what I said, too. The same thing. I said, we're the Black Friends.
On BT.
On a show called Black Friends.
Sorry, Martin and Tisha Campbell.
Oh, my God. That's right. It kind of was. Boy, oh, boy. They fucking cracked it, man. This is a fun fucking show. I don't want to spoil the rest of it. We've spoiled so fucking much.
Yeah.
But it's like
a win.
It's like watching a fucking blockbuster movie every week. They keep this up, and they can't not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, launch strong. Granted, it's a pilot, and they tend to spend a little more money on a pilot, but the bar is high, man. Yeah. They're going back and forth through time, as we heard in an earlier episode. Jonah Hex. They can grab DC Universe characters. They can do fucking, what's his name? Not Sergeant Rock. They could do fucking.
Here's what I
want. It'd be boring.
I want to see the Commandy episode.
You see those Silent Bob eyes that I'm wearing? Commandy, last boy on Earth. That's right, man. So that means they go to the future.
Yeah, because why couldn't you?
It's true.
You can
Deep
go anywhere.
To the future.
Deep to the future.
I like this show a lot. Like I did when they first announced it. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I guess that's cute. They're doing like a team show. Good for them and stuff. But I hadn't watched Flash even at that point. So when they first talked about it, I was like, well, it's nice to think things are working for them.
Congrats,
now,
you guys.
Things are working for me, man. Like, that show is good. That's one more program I get to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like Jason Mewes, who watches every single fucking thing on television. Every fucking day, he downloads 4 new shows and watches them all. Like, he watches everything. He's like the
impressive
dude with the pen in the Matrix with all the TVs and shit, who says things that are very confusing. Mewes is just like that guy. I don't know how to think about it. So
iteration of the anomaly is problematic.
Mewes ain't that guy, because I don't think he's ever heard the word anomaly. But it's forget where I was going with that analogy.
I don't know.
It's a good time.
I just got excited by the idea that they could maybe meet Sergeant Rock.
I said that before.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's boring. Who gives a fuck about Sergeant Rock?
Well, I'm thinking from a purely
from a DC fan perspective.
From a DC fan perspective, and from a we can pull this off on a weekly basis.
Totally.
Like, when you go to the Old West, that's fine. World War II, we can probably fake that.
Dude, fuck Sergeant Rock. Haunted tank, bitch.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Haunted fucking tank. Creature Commandos.
That's not bad.
It's a deep DC bench they could pull from that fucking Zack Snyder is never going to touch cinematically. So keep going, kids.
Yes.
Like doing the Lord's work over there at Berlanti Land and at CW. I never thought I'd say that. I never in my life thought I would say this, but God damn it. I love the CW. A network full of shirtless teen boys, and I love it. It's amazing.
All of them at face, neck, and chest.
You know what I also dig on a fucking Legends of Tomorrow? This is a very tiny thing, but do you see Ray's suit constantly is moving?
Yes.
When he's wearing the Atom suit, it's constantly fucking moving, and that's not a special effect, a CG effect. I think they built that into the suit.
Yeah, just
constantly
winged it,
whirring.
just kind of like,
Really nice touch, man. Like his tech is alive. It was kind of dope, man. But I think he's my all-star for the show. I think Brandon is my emotional journey. Like, he's wonderful in the show. The whole cast is fucking great, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I think he's the one that I'm like, oh, like I love his story the most. Like there he is, man. He just wants to be a hero so badly. He wants to make a difference. He's so smart. He can get so small, so tiny, so tiny to fight injustice. But it's a really sweet story, man. Because honestly, you can go like, you couldn't do that with Batman.
No.
Let's say they had Batman, and Batman's like, I'm a loser in the future. Like, that would never happen. But you could do that with Ray Palmer.
Yeah.
And, what does most people know outside of comics about the Atom anyway? Nothing. So
he
it's
looks a lot like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Is he rich? Yeah. He's kind of a lot like Iron Man. What does he do? Get small. Like Ant-Man? Yeah.
And to be fair, Iron Man's a lot like Batman.
Yeah.
They're all a lot alike.
They're all very much from the same well.
And we love that well. We drink from it all the time.
Drink
it's
deep.
the fountain of youth, motherfuckers. Keep you young thinking about this shit.
Elixir of life.
You ain't kidding. You spend all your fucking remaining days watching Legends of Tomorrow. Before you know it, the grave will be here for you. And there it is. You'll spend your time wisely.
You will be a legend of today in your own mind.
Of tomorrow. It's a good fucking show, man. I don't need to sell it to you. I'm telling you, you've seen some of the footage already. You've seen the spots on TV.
Do it.
Join in, man. This is another fucking... God damn it.
Do it.
Fucking Berlanti right now is like Pixar first 10 years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can't lose. He's Gretzky from 84 to 88.
He's Pixar before Cars 2.
He's Gretzky before Los Angeles.
He's a Globetrotters all the fucking time.
Yeah, he's Meadowlark Lemon. We didn't finish giving him his dues. Meadowlark Lemon, one of the most famous fucking people on the planet. He just died fairly recently and stuff. And he had a quiet rest of his life where he was a religious person and stuff. I think he was into the Lord. But this was a man who traveled everywhere, dude. He was probably one of the biggest fucking stars on the planet. Yet if I turned to my kid and was like, who's Meadowlark Lemon? She'd cry. Your dad's high and saying weird, funny things.
Is that a flavor of ice cream?
Isn't that sad, though? Like, this man was a fucking giant. And to us, when he passed, I'm sure you noticed, I noticed, I fucking stopped for a minute to be like, this fucking dude, man. Like, he was fucking everything when I was a kid. He's funny as fuck. He's fucking talented and shit. And then, like, he passed from a world that had moved on to fucking Kanye West and the Kardashians and other things like that.
I remember I did take my kid to see the Globetrotters.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where?
This was in Jersey. They were playing at Rutgers. And he had loved it.
I mean,
because you can't be like 8 and not get a biggest fucking kick out of this.
Yeah, you can't be fucking 18 or 80 and not get a big kick out. Like, even what does they call the magic circle? The warm-up circle? It's fucking good shit, man. And again, these cats are practically superheroes. They had their own cartoon.
Yeah.
They had comic books, I'm sure. They fucking were on television. They had movies. Like, they were fucking big, man. And that's like, to tie it back in to the Ray Palmer kind of like, I died and nobody really fucking noticed and shit like that. I don't know. That seems to be a thing for me. I want to die where, everybody fucking knows. I don't understand these people who don't tell you they're not sick until they die. Like, I'm one of those cats where I'm like, I got a hangnail. Stop! Everyone fucking stop and help me!
Listen, you should always have your fingers on the 9-1
You ain't
in
kidding,
case.
man. I'm so not noble at all. I know. I'm okay. That's why I like reading about noble characters. They give me a little spine. They give me something to look to. Like, ooh, I could be like Ray Palmer. I never in my fucking life, Mark, ever thought I would be like, I love the Atom.
Nobody ever has.
But they did it.
Like
that's the gifted folks over there fucking working on these CW shows. They made fucking the Atom viable, dude.
Yeah. Not just viable, the lead of a TV show.
Yeah. And somebody I want to see more. Somebody I'm like, get rid of the other ones. Just watch his fucking show. I feel bad for this guy.
Yeah.
I am the Ray Palmer of filmmakers. Very small, while being very big. It's very bizarre. And when I die, nobody will remember.
Not
unless fucking Rip Hunter comes back, fucking gets us to jump in.
Our fate is what we make.
Is that what they said?
Our fate is what we make for ourselves. That's from Terminator 2.
Good movie.
Very.
That's my quote. Good movie.
Nice job.
Clearly, we've run out of shit to say. We're just like, I like that.
You know what? I'll allow
But
it.
you know what? She returns.
Well, you watch your step, McCoy.
It's called The Legends of Tomorrow, folks. Watch it.
DC's
Watch it.
Legend of Tomorrow.
It's true.
Yeah.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow, man. Can't believe they fucking did it as good as they did, yet they did it. And here we are fucking watching it. There they are. Look at them all. Look at them. Heroes, all of them. Look at poor Martin Stein, always stuck in the back.
Hi, it's me.
Always stumbling
Guys.
around like a confused grandfather.
I can vote.
Why are we on this roof? I can vote. I've got a dad bod. Let me tell you something. I wish I had Victor Garber's bod.
Not bad for
You know what I'm saying? For a dude who's fucking, he's got to be 60s.
Yeah,
This looks pretty fucking good.
not bad. Little Sansa belt happening. He's killing it.
You know, he don't need the other guy's body to become Firestorm. They got to do an episode where he's in the fucking.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what I'm saying? Like a reverse kind of thing. I'm all for it. Leave us out of the mix. Clearly, we're not doing the good work that they are. We're like, ooh, let's do a mix-up episode. Yeah, he looks fucking badass, dude. Let's give Firestorm some love. Can't believe this fucking character is on television. It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing, and they're doing it right, man. His costume looks like his costume. Got the big old flame head and stuff. It's not like in the comics where it's just fire coming out his head, but like that's what
'Cause
that
that-
was
that'd
meant
be
to
weird.
be. Yeah, it'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Look like a skater, look like a figure skater. There they are, man.
Ah, Ebony and Ivory.
That's Fat Man on Batman right there.
Yep.
There it is, folks. Legends of Tomorrow is happening, I believe, tomorrow.
Yes.
And or if you've seen it, it's already on. Go watch it and shit, and then watch this and compare notes. See if you like the same shit.
You love
we
it as
like.
much as we love it.
Let us know. Write to. We don't have an address.
No.
Write to us on Twitter. Fuck, we got Twitters.
Totally.
You got a Twitter? You got one of them Twitters?
You're on the Twitters? I'm on the Twitters.
Tell them your Twitters
At Marc Bernardin.
with a C,
With a C.
not with a K.
Yes.
I'm at that Kevin Smith with a C, not with a K. No, with a K.
That'd be weird.
That'd be very strange. What a great time to be alive, kids. What a great time. Go watch this show tomorrow, man. Of course, Flash and Arrow return this week. Thank God, man. More fucking King Shark coming from what I understand.
Yes.
And I hear there's a young buck director on the rise. Might be doing an episode.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Just like Tim Miller, I got the world by the balls now.
Run, Kevin. Run.
Yeah, right. Oh, don't. You're gonna make me cry. I almost fucking bawled again talking about the goddamn computer. Dude, I can't tell you how fucking touching it was when the computer was like, "You created me, Barry Allen." I was like, I gasped inward, and well, I guess you don't gasp outward. I gasped. I almost collapsed a lung. I gasped so hard. Oxygen overload. I love this shit. All right, man. That's all the time we got for this week, man. For Fat Man on Batman, I'm Kevin Smith.
Marc Bernardin.
Don't forget, man. Come see us here on Friday, on Monday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
We're coming all the time.
Always, all over your face, neck, and fucking sometimes your back.
Yes.
A little bit.
Squeegee.
Turn around, we say, and then a little on the back. Same. Fat, we just lost all the audience. Like, ew. Why does the show have to end so cummy?
It got weird.
It did. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Mom.
Same fat time. Same fat channel. And what channel is that, Mark?
www.youtube.com/Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, click that thing below that says subscribe. Every time you click that, you save a baby kitten from murder.